Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hidarul Wian. My register number A1M2-18026. Okay, in this video I will explain about definition of modal auxiliary verb and the rules of modal auxiliary verb. Definition of modal auxiliary verb. Modal auxiliary verb is an auxiliary verb that has its own meaning and function that modify the original verb. Its function is express willingness or ability, necessity, and possibility. Yang berarti modal auxiliary verb adalah kata kerja bantu yang memiliki makna dan fungsi sendiri yang dapat memodifikasi kata kerja aslinya. Fungsinya untuk mengekspresikan kemauan, kemampuan, kebutuhan, dan kemungkinan. Modal auxiliary verb terbagi menjadi dua, yaitu main modal atau modal utama dan similar expression of modal atau SEO. Similar modal ini digunakan untuk menggantikan modal auxiliary jika di dalam kalimat terdapat lebih dari dua modal auxiliary. Inilah main modal atau modal utama dalam bentuk present, can, will, may, must, shall, dalam bentuk past, could, would, might, had to, should, dan dalam bentuk similar expression of modal, be able, be going to, be allowed, have or has to. Shall tidak memiliki similar modal karena shall hanya digunakan untuk the first person singular, yaitu I dan we. Contoh dalam main modal atau modal utama, bentuk present tense dan past tense. Yang pertama adalah can. Can I borrow your car for one night? Bisakah saya meminjam mobilmu selama 1 tahun? Modalnya di sini adalah can yang berarti bisa atau dapat. Yang kedua adalah could. You could run faster than me 2 years ago. Kamu dapat berlari lebih cepat dari saya 2 tahun lalu. Could ini adalah modalnya, dan could ini merupakan bentuk lampau dari can. Yang ketiga, may. He may work out and eat healthy food every day. Dia mungkin berlatih dan memakan makanan sehat setiap hari. Modalnya adalah may. Yang keempat, might. You might forget the embarrassing incident tomorrow. Kamu mungkin melupakan insiden memalukan itu besok. Might ini bentuk lampau dari may. Nah, mengapa harus ada modal dan similar modal dalam modal auxiliary verb? Karena kita tidak bisa menggunakan main modal lebih dalam satu kalimat. Untuk melengkapi suatu kalimat, kita dapat menggunakan similar modal. Contoh similar modal. Saya harus berbicara bahasa Inggris. Kita tidak boleh menggunakan I must can speak English. Kalimat yang benar adalah I must be able to speak English. Untuk pengganti can, maka kita bisa ubah menggunakan be able to yang merupakan similar modal dari can and could. Dalam menggunakan modal auxiliary verb, ada beberapa aturan atau rules yang harus diperhatikan. Yang pertama, modal harus diikuti oleh verb one. Jadi, setelah modal harus ada verb one. Contohnya, modal harus diikuti oleh verb one. For example, she can run fast. Meskipun subjeknya she, tetapi kita harus tetap menggunakan verb one. Jika menggunakan modal, cukup menggunakan modal sebagaimana mestinya. Use as is. Tidak perlu mengubah modal walaupun digunakan dalam present, past, atau future tense. Rules kedua, ketika kalimat nominal ditambahkan be setelah modal. Kalimat nominal yaitu modal plus be plus adjective, noun, and adverb. Contoh, I must be patient. Saya harus sabar. Ada be setelah modal. Kita tidak bisa membuat kalimat seperti I must patient karena tidak ada be setelah modal. Jika sebelum modal didahului oleh kata kerja asli atau auxiliary verb, maka kita harus menggunakan similar modal dan tidak boleh menggunakan main modal. Contohnya, I want to be able to speak English. Kenapa kita menggunakan be able to? Karena be able to merupakan similar modal dari can dan could. Tidak mungkin kita menggunakan kalimat seperti I want can speak English. Selanjutnya yaitu untuk kalimat interrogatif, modal diletakkan di awal kalimat. For example, could you help me? Or will you marry me? Untuk kalimat negatif, cukup tambahkan not setelah modal. For example, I cannot speak English very well. Contoh kedua, he will not be able to come to my house. Sekian penjelasan saya tentang materi definition of modal auxiliary verb dan rules of auxiliary verb dan contoh-contohnya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Ahmad Syahdan. My student ID number A1M2-20034. Oke, saya akan membuat video pembelajaran tentang modal auxiliary verb. Modal auxiliary or modal are verb that are used before the main verb to express different meaning such as permission, possibility, ability, and each. Modal auxiliary are can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, and would. Tapi di sini saya akan menjelaskan tentang modal auxiliary can dan could. Can and could be used to express abilities. The difference: can be used to express the ability in the present tense and could in the past tense, but can also be used to ask permission to do something. Can dan could digunakan untuk mengekspresikan kemampuan. Bedanya, can digunakan untuk mengungkapkan kemampuan di masa kini dan could digunakan untuk di masa lampau. Keduanya juga bisa digunakan untuk meminta izin melakukan sesuatu. Can and could be used for the first, ability atau kemampuan, second, possibility atau kemungkinan, third, refusal of request atau penolakan, fourth, disability atau ketidakmampuan, fifth, request atau permintaan. Request lebih dominan menggunakan kata can. Sixth atau terakhir, polite request, permintaan yang sopan. Biasanya paling dominan menggunakan could. Oke, pola kalimat can dan could untuk kalimat positif, subjek plus modal plus verb one atau kata kerja pertama plus objek. Untuk kalimat negatif, subjek plus modal plus not plus kata kerja pertama atau verb one plus objek. Untuk kalimat pertanyaan, modal plus subjek plus kata kerja pertama atau verb one plus objek and plus question atau pertanyaan. Oke. Example. Untuk contoh ability, you can follow me if you trust me. Kamu dapat mengikutiku jika kamu percaya kepadaku. She called it while I took a bath. Kamu bisa makan ketika saya sedang mandi. Untuk contoh possibility, children can be very expressive. Anak-anak bisa saja sangat ekspresif. The student could have arrived hours ago. Seharusnya murid-murid sudah datang sejam yang lalu. Untuk contoh, refusal of request, you can borrow my pen, but you can take my pencil. Kamu dapat meminjam pulpen saya, tapi kamu tidak dapat mengambil pensil saya. Untuk contoh, disability, I can play a guitar now. Saya dapat bermain gitar sekarang. I could play a guitar 5 years ago.
I wanna dance by water beneath the
Saya bisa
Mexican
bermain
sky.
gitar 5 tahun yang lalu. Untuk contoh request atau permintaan, I can go home now. Bisakah saya pulang sekarang? Untuk contoh polite request atau permintaan yang sopan, could I go now please? Dikatakan kalimat sopan karena menggunakan kata please, yang artinya bisakah saya pergi sekarang?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Elsa Ftariani with student ID number A1M220096. In this time, I will giving some explain an example about one of the modal auxiliary verb, which is may and might. Sekarang masuk pada pengertian atau definition dari may and might. May or might adalah salah satu jenis modal atau kata kerja bantu di dalam bahasa Inggris yang umumnya digunakan untuk mengungkapkan kemungkinan atau meminta izin kepada orang lain. Contoh, may I borrow your book? She may see you before she leaves. The rain may have stopped. Pada kalimat pertama, may berfungsi untuk meminta izin, sedangkan pada kalimat kedua berfungsi untuk mengungkapkan kemungkinan, dan kalimat ketiga menunjukkan bahwa might adalah bentuk lampau dari may. Kemudian kita masuk kepada penggunaan atau use of may and might. Yang pertama adalah untuk mengungkapkan kemungkinan atau reveal the possibilities. Contohnya, there may be some problem. She may not like it. Maybe yes, maybe no. Kedua, untuk meminta izin atau ask permission. Contohnya, may I borrow your pen? May I come in? How may I help you? Dan ketiga, memberi permisi kepada orang lain atau give permission to other people. Yang pertama, that's all for now. You may go. I am busy now. You may go. Dan yang terakhir, untuk mengungkapkan harapan atau express hope. Contohnya, may God bless us. May you have a long and fruitful marriage. Setelah dua pembahasan tadi tentang pengertian dan penggunaan dari may and might, kita masuk pada topik perbedaan antara may and might atau difference between may and might. Yang pertama, may have versus might have. If we don't know for sure the truth about past situation at the moment we speak or write, then we can use both. For example, first, I think that comment may have offended some people. 2. I think that comment might have offended some people. Oke, kita lihat di kalimat pertama menggunakan kata may, sedangkan kalimat kedua menggunakan kata Mike. Namun, jika kita mengacu pada kemungkinan di masa lalu, tapi kita tahu bahwa itu tidak benar-benar terjadi, maka kita menggunakan might have. An example, driving so fast, he might have had a nasty accident. Driving so fast, he may have had a nasty accident. Kalimat pertama benar, kalimat kedua salah. Kemudian, perbedaan yang kedua adalah might digunakan untuk hipotesis atau pengandaian, sedangkan may tidak. May digunakan untuk membicarakan kemungkinan yang mempunyai kesempatan besar untuk terjadi, sedangkan may digunakan untuk kemungkinan tidak akan terjadi. Selain itu, might digunakan untuk kalimat pengandaian dan hipotesis. Contoh, they may visit Bandung tonight. If I were you, I might go to Semarang. Dan yang ketiga, might digunakan untuk kalimat tidak langsung lampau atau past indirect speech. Contohnya seperti I may go to Bali. She said she might go to Bali. Dan yang keempat, untuk menunjukkan rasa kesal atau menampilkan rasa jengkel. Jika kita ingin mengungkapkan kekesalan atau kritik karena seseorang tidak melakukan sesuatu yang tidak mereka lakukan, kita harus menggunakan might dibandingkan may. Contoh, you might have told me that she wouldn't be in today. You may have told me that she wouldn't be in today. Kemudian kita masuk pada permintaan dan saran yang lebih sopan. Pada aspek ini, might lebih sopan digunakan untuk meminta informasi, meminta tolong, atau memberi saran ketimbang may. Contohnya, might I ask a question? I thought you might like to join us for dinner. Be careful, it might be dangerous. Seperti itu contoh-contohnya. Kemudian yang keenam, mengungkapkan harapan. May digunakan untuk mengungkapkan harapan. Kita tidak bisa menggunakan both atau keduanya. Contoh, may you be happy. May God bless us. Yang ketujuh, meminta izin atau memberi izin. Dalam hal ini, might lebih formal dibanding may untuk meminta izin. Seperti, may I borrow your pen? Itu sopan. Might I borrow your pen? Ini sopan dan formal. Ketika kita memberi atau menolak izin, hanya may selain can yang hanya bisa digunakan, sedangkan might tidak bisa. Yaitu seperti, yes, you may borrow my pen. Ini adalah susunan kata yang paling sopan. Yes, you can borrow my pen. Ini sopan. Yes, you might borrow my pen. Sebaiknya jangan gunakan ini.
You put your hands under my jacket. The cold is hell, but I'ma let you anyway. Wouldn't you say there's a light in the darkest moments? And this is the moment.
Okay guys, that's a little review about the modal auxiliary verb, namely may and might from me. Sorry if there are many shortcomings in this explanation in my video. Thank you for watching this and see you later.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allow me introduce myself. My name is Putri Aprilia. My registered number A1M220060. In this video, I will explain about modal auxiliary, especially will and would. Will and would, these two verbs cause a lot of confusion for English learner. So, I'm going to clear up that confusion for you. I will teach you the difference between will and would, and I will show you how to use them correctly without making mistake. Definition of will. Will is a modal verb. It is used to with a base form of a verb. Alright, there are three main differences between will and would. Let's start to the most basic use of will and would. First, we use will to talk about future. One very common use is to make prediction or say what we expect to happen in the future. For example, we will be in Hong Kong by 8 p.m. tomorrow. This next sentence also talks about the future, but it's a little different. I'm not hungry, so I will just have an orange juice. Here's, you are not talking about the distant future, you are talking about the immediate future. Okay, that's will. How about would? Well, would is simply past tense form of will. For example, we thought we would in Hong Kong by 8 p.m. tomorrow, but that didn't happen. We often use would when we repose a past conversation. That is, we say what someone said in the past. For example, I wasn't hungry, so I said I will just have an orange juice. Okay, now you know about the most basic use of will and would. Second, will and would is used to form conditional sentence. Will is for conditional sentence type 1 and would is for conditional sentence type 2 and 3. The formula conditional sentence type 1 is if plus simple present plus will plus bar infinitive. For example, if it's rain, I will bring my umbrella. The next formula conditional sentence type 2 is if plus simple past plus would plus bar infinitive. For example, if I had wings, I would fly all over the world. The next, the formula conditional sentence step 3 is if plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle. For example, if Jared had stopped playing video games, his grade would have improved. So you can see from this sentence is that we use will when we talk about real and possible situation. For imaginary conditional, we use would. Okay, now let's turn to final difference between will and would. And that is in using polite request. Will is for an informal polite request and would is for a formal polite request. For example, will. For example, will is will you drive me home? Another example is will you lending me your jacket? The next example, would you mind lend me some money? Or would you help me with my presentation? Okay, that's my explanation. Thank you for watching and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Susila and my register number is A1M219117. Okay, in this occasion, I will present about modal auxiliary, especially about shall and should. Maybe I will explain about what is definition and then what is the function, and then I will give some example. Okay, the first is shall. What is definition of shall? Shall is modal auxiliary that used to express simple future. Okay, this is used to express simple future as will, but shall also used on the first person.
For example, pronoun I and we. Okay. And then shall also used to express plan, and then suggestions for question sentences. Okay, for example, in the sentence, I will give some example. The first example is, we shall return this poster next one. Okay, you can see these sentences is especially express about plan. Okay, you can see this is we as a first person, and then shall is a modal auxiliary, and then returns, this is verb, and then like my friend explained before, after modal auxiliary we must be use kata kerja bentuk pertama. Okay, jadi setelah modal auxiliary kita harus menggunakan kata kerja bentuk pertama. And then next month, this is menandakan sesuatu yang akan kita lakukan di masa yang akan datang. So this sentences is especially express about plan atau rencana. We shall return this poster next month, atau kita akan mengembalikan poster ini bulan depan, gitu kan? And then next example. It is too dirty here. Shall I broom the floor? Okay, this is a sentences that especially refers to suggestion atau saran. Di sini sangat kotor. Bolehkah mungkin bagaimana jika saya menyapu lantainya gitu? Jadi dia especially, so this sentences is especially express about suggestion. Okay, and the last example is shall I give you some advice? So this is sentences that especially express about polite question or refers to polite questions. Haruskah saya memberikan kamu beberapa saran, kan? Okay, I think enough for shall, and then now I will continue to should. What is definition of should? Should is modal auxiliary that used to express what might reasonable be expected to happen, and it is also carries the meaning that we want whatever is predicted to happen. And then it is therefore not used to express negative or unpleasant ideas. Okay. And then should often be used to express suggestion. So apalagi namanya modal auxiliary should ini biasa kita gunakan untuk membuat kalimat yang biasanya memberikan saran or suggestion. Okay, and then should be different from must because should not require to someone to carry out advice given. I will give some example. The first example is, you should see the doctor. Okay, you can see this sentence is especially expressed or refers to suggestions. You should see the doctor. Anda harus ke dokter. Atau kamu harus ke dokter, ya kan? Jadi dia kalimatnya memberikan saran. And then another example is, we should meet more often. Kita harus bertemu lebih sering. Nah, this is lagi-lagi this sentence is especially express about suggestions. Jadi dia memberikan saran. Lagi-lagi contoh kalimatnya memberikan saran. Jadi I think now for my explanations, and then the last say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Nurul Pratiwi with student ID number EU1M2200018. Here I will explain about using must and ought to. Curious how? Let's just go to the video. The first explanation is must. Must termasuk dalam modal auxiliary atau kata kerja bantu dalam bahasa Inggris. Must biasanya digunakan untuk mengungkapkan kepastian, merekomendasikan sesuatu, atau mengekspresikan kebutuhan. Here are some example of applying that you can learn. Yang pertama yaitu must untuk menunjukkan kebutuhan. Contohnya, you must pass an exam to get the best school. Artinya, kamu harus lulus ujian untuk lolos ke sekolah terbaik. Yang kedua yaitu must untuk melarang suatu tindakan. Contohnya yaitu you must not climb the tree. Artinya, kamu tidak boleh memanjat pohon tersebut. Yang ketiga yaitu must untuk merekomendasikan sesuatu. Contohnya, you must eat healthy food to gain weight. Artinya, kamu harus menyantap makanan sehat untuk menaikkan berat badan. Yang keempat yaitu must untuk menunjukkan kepastian. Contohnya, this must be a good choice for the family. Artinya, ini pasti menjadi keputusan baik untuk keluarga tersebut. Yang kelima, must juga beberapa modal auxiliary lainnya. Memang punya perilaku yang tidak teratur dalam sejumlah jenis kalimat. Salah satunya adalah penerapan must dalam bentuk tense berikut ini. Contohnya, it must have been the wrong house. There is a similar page around this area. Well, that's explanation about must. Now we continue about ought to. Ought to digunakan untuk kalimat yang memberikan saran atau membuat rekomendasi. Ought to juga digunakan untuk mengungkapkan asumsi atau harapan serta kemungkinan yang kuat. Sering juga digunakan untuk membuat kalimat yang menggambarkan kelayakan, tapi sejujurnya tidak. Rumus ought to yaitu untuk kalimat positif, subjek plus ought to plus verb 1. Untuk kalimat negatif, subjek plus ought not plus to plus verb 1. Untuk kalimat interrogatif, ought plus subjek plus to plus verb 1. Ought to sama seperti modal verb lainnya yang selalu diikuti dengan kata kerja dasar atau verb 1. Yang lebih perlu diperhatikan adalah ketika kalimat tersebut negatif, maka tambahkan not bukan do atau does. Poin berikutnya, apabila ingin membentuk kalimat tanya, maka ought to dipisahkan oleh subjek. Ought to memiliki beberapa fungsi dalam kalimat, antara lain yang pertama yaitu untuk memberikan saran atau nasihat. Contohnya, you ought to take public transportation if you don't want to have traffic jam. Artinya, kamu sebaiknya naik transportasi umum jika tidak ingin terkena macet. Yang kedua yaitu menyatakan apa yang seharusnya dilakukan. Contohnya, they ought not to throw the rubbish into the river. They will pollute the water. Artinya, mereka tidak seharusnya membuang sampah ke sungai. Itu akan mencemari air sungai. Yang ketiga yaitu menyatakan harapan atau yang seharusnya terjadi. Contohnya, her son is already 7 years old. He ought to read friendly. Artinya, anak laki-lakinya sudah berusia 7 tahun. Dia seharusnya sudah lancar membaca. Yang keempat yaitu menyatakan sesuatu yang sudah terjadi atau dan mempertegas kenyataan yang seharusnya. Contohnya, if he start to study in university 5 years ago, he ought to graduate now. Artinya, jika dia sudah mulai belajar di universitas 5 tahun lalu, dia sudah seharusnya lulus saat ini. Well, that's an explanation for me about must and ought to. Hopeful, useful. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Genoveva Kersanija. In this opportunity, I would like to presentation WH question. WH question is use of seeking content information relating to person, things, fact, time, place, reason, manner, exercise. WH question different depending on kind of content information sought. Content information associated with fact, things, and person is generally sought with another set with WH word, and content information associated with time, place, manner, and reason is sought with onset WH question. If you are going to make question with question word, you must use of the auxiliary verb and put after question word. So the rule of question word, the formation is very important. Kind of WH question: what is request information about somebody or something. Example, what do you want? Come to me. What do you want from me? What are you doing now? What has she taken from the cupboard? Who, whom, whose are used to obtain information about person or people, but they are have different. Who you use to ask about people. Example, who is that girl? Who's the man in your house? Who can answer this question? Whom used to ask person, where in this question is object of the question, the sentence, or person who colon is receive the action. Example, who are you going to meet? Who will you marry with? Who would you suggest from the job? Whom is used ask people, where the in question is the object of the sentence, or person who is called is receiving the action. Example, who will you marry with? Whom would you suggest the job? Whose used to obtain information about who something belongs to. Example, whose book is this? Whose dog is the yard? Who magazine are you reading now? When is used to ask the time of an event or activity. Example, when does the bus? When does the train to Surabaya? When does will class start? When does you marry me? Which used to ask the certainty of choice between people or thing. Example, which one is the most delicious? Which dress is better for me? Where is obtain information about location of a person or thing. Example, where is your house? Where is your parent? Why is used to obtain information about reason something happens or reason somebody does something. Example, why will you come here tomorrow morning? Why do you ask me about it? Why does he not go to school today? How is used to obtain information about the way something happens, matter, somebody behaves or does something. Example, how do you come here? How will they go to Surabaya tomorrow morning? How do you do? All my presentation, I hope you enjoy this video. Bye.